Here's the truth. Too many veterans in Florida are paying thousands in property taxes they don't actually owe. If you've got a disability rating, you may qualify for huge exemptions. In fact, some veterans pay zero property taxes in Clay County. Today, I'll show you how it works. Welcome back to the Florida Veterans Real Estate Podcast. I'm Darian, Army veteran, registered nurse, and real estate agent here in Florida. Today's topic is a game changer. We're talking about property tax exemptions for disabled veterans in Florida with a special look at Clay County, because here's the truth. Too many veterans are leaving thousands of dollars on the table every single year simply because they don't know about these benefits. So in this episode, we'll cover who qualifies for exemptions, how much you can actually save, what are the rules in Clay County, and how to apply without the headaches. Let's jump in. If you've ever owned a home in Florida, you know property taxes aren't small. In Clay County, Duval, or St. John's, you're often talking thousands of dollars per year. Now here's the thing. For most people, that's just the cost of home ownership. But for veterans with a disability rating, Florida has some of the strongest property tax exemptions in the nation. This isn't a small perk. This can literally mean the difference between struggling to make a payment and living mortgage-free, except for insurance and utilities. Let's break it down clearly. 1. 10% or more service-connected disability. You qualify for a $5,000 reduction on your home's assessed value every year. Doesn't matter if you're 10%, 30%, or 90%, as long as it's 10 or higher. 2. 100% permanent and total disability, P&T. This is the big one. If you're rated at 100% P&T, your primary residence may be fully exempt from property taxes. That means zero property tax bills. 3. Age 65 or older with combat-related disability. Here's where Clay County veterans need to pay attention. Once you hit 65 years old, if you have a combat-related disability, Florida gives you a percentage-based discount on property taxes equal to your VA disability rating. Example, 30% combat rating at age 65, 30% discount. 70% combat rating at age 65, 70% discount. And this stacks on top of your homestead exemption. 4. Surviving spouses. Widows or widowers of eligible veterans may also qualify to carry over certain exemptions. Florida's homestead exemption gives every homeowner up to $50,000 off their assessed value. When you combine homestead with veterans exemptions, the savings add up fast. Here's a Clay County example. Home value, $325,000 minus $50,000. Homestead equals $275,000. If you're 65 with a 30% combat disability, that's $82,500. Final taxable value, around $192,500. That's a serious reduction, and it happens every single year. Good news, applying is simple. Step 1, get your VA disability rating letter. Step 2, go to the Clay County Property Appraiser's office or apply online at ccpao.com. Step 3, file for both your homestead exemption and your veteran's disability exemption. Deadline, March 1st each year. Once you're approved, the exemption renews automatically. Move to a new county, reapply there. Let me paint the picture. I've seen veterans in Clay County go from paying $3,500 a year in property taxes to zero because they were 100% permanent and total. I've seen veterans over 65 years of age slash their tax bills by 30, 50, even 70%, all because of their combat-related rating. And I've seen young vets with just 10% rating save a few $100 a year. Money that adds up over a lifetime. The truth is, you earned this. This isn't a handout. This is Florida honoring your service. Now let's talk about something most people overlook. What to do with the money you save. If you're a disabled veteran in Florida and you're saving a few $1,000s every year because of your property tax exemptions, That's not just money to celebrate. That's seed money for generational wealth. Let me explain. If you're saving even $3,000 a year and you intentionally put that into a high-yield savings account, an index fund, or a simple investment account every year for 10 years, you're talking $30,000 to $50,000 depending on how you invest it. That's college tuition for a child. That's the down payment for your son or daughter's first home. That's the startup fund for a family business. That's wealth that you created by simply knowing and claiming the benefits you earned. You see, homeownership is the cornerstone of generational wealth. But what most people don't realize is that it's not just the value of the home that builds wealth. It's what you do with the cash flow you protect. Every dollar you don't send to the tax collector is a dollar that can go to work for your family. Now imagine this. What if every veteran in Clay County took their property tax savings and set up what I call a freedom fund? You can name it whatever you want. Freedom fund, legacy account, generational wealth jar. But the purpose is simple. Every year, take the money you saved from your veteran exemption and put it aside for something that multiplies. Maybe it's paying off the mortgage faster, buying a rental property, funding your child's education, starting a business that your family can run together. That's how freedom compounds. That's how the sacrifice of one generation becomes the stability of the next. Because when you use your veteran benefits wisely, you're not just saving money. You're setting your family on a path where they get to make choices, not sacrifices. So here's my challenge. When that lower tax bill shows up in your mailbox, don't just smile and move on. Take the difference and put it to work. Name the account. Make it intentional. That's how you turn a state benefit into a family legacy. All right, brothers and sisters, it's time to talk about what comes next. You've learned about exemptions, savings, and the Freedom Fund idea. Now let's make it real. This is your next mission. 1. Reframe the mission. In the military, every operation had 3 things: objective, resources, and execution. This one's no different. Your objective is to turn those property tax savings into long-term stability. Your resources are the dollars Florida just let you keep. And your execution plan is what we're about to build. So grab a notebook, or if you're driving, make a mental note. This isn't theory. This is the kind of mission that changes how your family lives for decades. 2. Know your number. Before any mission, you get intel. Your intel here is simple. How much did you save this year because of your exemption? If your tax bill dropped from $3,400 to $400, that's a $3,000 win. If you got a 30% combat-related discount and it shaved $200 off your taxes, that's your number. Circle it. That's your mission capital for the year. Too many folks stop there. They celebrate, maybe take a weekend trip, and move on. But veterans don't waste victories. We leverage them. 3. Create your freedom fund. You need a separate place for that money to live. Not your checking account, not the jar on the dresser. A dedicated account. Name it something that matters to you. Freedom Fund, Legacy Account, Operation Next Gen Wealth. If you're married, talk to your spouse about it. Make it a family mission, not a solo one. That conversation alone can shift how your kids think about money. Even if you're starting small, $50 a month, or the few hundred you saved, what matters is intent. When you give money a purpose, it grows with meaning, not just interest. Give your money a job. Money without a mission gets lost. We've all seen what happens when resources go unassigned. Confusion, waste, drift. Don't let your savings drift. Give every dollar a rank and a role. Some ideas: debt reduction. Kill off the high-interest stuff first. Every dollar here is a guaranteed return. Home equity. Make one extra mortgage payment a year. It can shave years off your loan. Investment. Drop it into a Roth IRA or index fund. Let compound interest fight alongside you. Education. 529 plan for your kids or grandkids. A gift that outlives you. Small business fund. Turn your skills into a side income. You already know discipline and follow through. That's half of entrepreneurship. Whichever lane you choose, write it down like an operations order. Objective: what are we building? Timeline: when will we deploy funds? Outcome: what will success look like in 5 years? That's your wealth ops plan. 5-step: execute and report. Every mission needed accountability. Once a year, maybe each March when you refile your exemption, check the numbers. How much did you save? How much did you invest? What's your return? Do an after-action review on your finances. If you're part of a local veteran network, share your wins. You'd be amazed at how many vets never even file because they don't know this stuff exists. Your story might save someone thousands. That's force multiplying your impact. 6. Expand the mission. After year 1, this isn't just about taxes anymore. It's about building a system that works while you sleep. Maybe that freedom fund grows into a rental property. Maybe it buys equipment for your kids' first landscaping business. Maybe it becomes seed money for a nonprofit that helps other vets buy homes. That's when the mission gets bigger than your own family. It starts echoing through your community. Mindset. Check, let's get real for a minute. Some of us left the service with scars, bills, and a sense that the system owed us. I get it. I've been there. But the truth is, nobody's coming to save us. We have to use what's already in front of us and execute. You already have the tools: discipline, consistency, teamwork. This mission just trades rifles for spreadsheets, gear for goals, but the spirit is the same. Accomplish the mission, protect the team. So, keep your head on a swivel financially. Watch the market. Talk to fellow vets who are good with money. Build your own fire team for financial growth. You don't have to do it alone. Why this matters. Here's the bigger picture. When veterans build wealth, we build stability. When we build stability, our communities get stronger. Property values rise, businesses open, and kids grow up seeing service and success in the same house. That's legacy. That's the ripple effect of using your benefits with intention. The challenge recap. Let's run the checklist like a pre-mission brief. Intel: know your annual tax savings number. Logistics: open a separate Freedom Fund account. Deployment: move the savings immediately after you receive it. Orders: assign that money to a job with a clear objective. Comms: review progress once a year, AAR style. Morale: celebrate every milestone with your family. Teach them what you're doing and why. If you follow that, in 5 years, you'll have proof that discipline works just as well in civilian life as it did in uniform. Final words before we move on. You've already completed harder missions. This one just happens to pay in peace of mind instead of combat pay. Your country gave you the benefit. Now give it purpose. Don't let that money blend into the noise of everyday life. Name it, track it, grow it. When your kids see that Freedom Fund on the family whiteboard, they'll understand something most people never do: that freedom isn't free. But financial freedom is earned through discipline and patience. So here's your standing order. Start today. Stay consistent. Report back to yourself every year, because the next generation is watching how we handle what we've earned. Let's show them that service doesn't end when the uniform comes off. It just changes form. Now the battlefield is financial and the weapon is knowledge. This is the next mission challenge. Complete it and you won't just save money. You'll create a legacy that carries your name long after you're gone. That's it for episode 5 of the Florida Veterans Real Estate Podcast. Here's the bottom line. If you're a disabled veteran in Florida, you have powerful property tax exemptions available. At 100%, you may pay no property taxes. At 10% or higher, you still get a break. And once you're 65 with a combat-related disability, your VA rating becomes your discount. That wraps up another episode of the Florida Veterans Real Estate Podcast. Every veteran has earned more than a thank you. You've earned the right to stability, to equity, and to a home that truly serves your family. This show exists to help you claim it. Whether you're buying your first home or scaling into investment properties, remember this: real estate isn't just about houses. It's about choices. It's about freedom. It's about building something that lasts long after the uniform is folded away.